Welcome back to INF People. Today we will talk about INFP careers or vocations. More specifically, we'll be talking about the career of teaching uh, and teaching online. So, right now, I think I mentioned before in one of my other videos that this space I'm in is my virtual classroom because I teach English online. I work for a company called VIPKID, and I'll leave my referral code in the description below if you guys are interested in this company. By the time I'm done with the video, I think you might be because it's a really amazing place to work. So let me just tell you a little bit about my story, how I found a vocation in teaching, and especially in teaching online, being an online English teacher. So I started teaching right out of college. I moved to Thailand and I taught English as a second language while I was there. I lived in Thailand for about 2.5 years, and I taught the equivalent of 11th grade and 8th grade, and then for the first 2 years, and then for the third year I taught 10th grade and also 8th grade because all the teachers sort of have to split 8th grade because that's like the bad students over there. So they don't want any one teacher to have to teach all the 8th grade students. So they split it up between each of the teachers. So I taught 11th, 10th, and 8th grade while I was there, and I loved it. It was the first time that I really loved my job. Like as soon as I started working, I was just like, this is what I was always meant to be doing. This is it's more than a career; it's a vocation for me. And so I just as soon as I started teaching, I was in love with it. I loved the students. I loved. I think for INFPs, we love to like help people grow and help people learn and things like that. And it was just so fulfilling the work I was doing there. And then after I moved back to the U.S., I substituted for a little while, and then I started teaching kindergarten. And I never thought that I would want to teach young students. So that when I first started subbing, my first long-term subbing position was kindergarten, and it was just like, well, this is what else can I do? Even though I don't want to teach young students like this, but I actually ended up loving teaching the young kids even more, maybe even more than my older students. Or maybe I just liked it in a different way, but yeah. So I loved teaching the young kids, and then I ended up teaching kindergarten enrichment program at Bright Star Academy after that. And I taught in the U.S. for 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, before I moved to the Philippines, and so in the Philippines. I'd always thought maybe I would try to teach online because they don't need English. They don't need English teachers here because everybody here already speaks English pretty much. So they don't need like foreign English teachers to come help them the way like some other countries in Asia really big on having foreigners come and help their students learn English. So that wasn't necessary here. So I was thinking like, well, maybe I'll teach at a university, but then I would have to go back to school, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to go back for. And so I thought, well, maybe I can teach online. And I found VIPKID. It was one of a few places that I applied to, and they were the first ones to call me back. And I went through the interview process, and I got hired. And it is amazing. It's my favorite job I've ever had. And like since I've been teaching, I've loved teaching and I love working. With VIPKID, I love teaching even more. There's a few reasons, and I'll go over them here. So for an INFP, I think that I see a lot. Like if you look at a list of careers for INFPs, lots of times, or sometimes you'll see teacher in the list, and sometimes you won't. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that INFPs, there are lots of aspects of teaching that INFPs would like. I think that like the core aspects of teaching, I think INFPs would be really good at it because we like to help people grow and learn and develop and things like that, and that's and that's a lot of what teaching is. There are, but like the other parts of teaching, INFPs might not excel at, like classroom management, for example. Teachers in general have a hard time with classroom management, but I think INFPs especially might have a hard time because management is mostly about using like extroverted thinking, and that's our weakness. That's like our inferior or aspirational function. So uh, classroom management was always something that I had trouble with from the first day I started teaching. Sometimes my classroom, like if another teacher walked by, he'd be like, "What's going on in his classroom? Why is it so chaotic in there?" But it was just like the way that my classrooms ended up being, because I was like the nice teacher that kind of let the kids. I mean, I didn't let them do whatever they wanted, but I wasn't very strict, to say the least. But so that was one of the things that makes it hard for an INFP to be a teacher, and then just in general being drained. I think teaching is a taxing profession for anyone, but especially for an introvert. And like as an INFP, I loved it, like with being with my students and teaching in the classroom. But I would always, whenever I came home, I would just be like so drained and dead tired from having so much time, spending so much time just around so many people, and quelling conflicts and things like that, and like the classroom management aspects of it. It was just like I felt like teaching was half of the job in the classroom. Teaching was half the job, and then the other half was like all this other stuff, like making sure these two kids get along, or like seating arrangements, like who could sit next to who without causing too much trouble, and like what kind of drama is going on between these two groups of kids. It's like it was like there's so much else to it that kind of took away from the real teaching. So it's like you were only really teaching like half the time. The rest of the time was like trying to deal with all kinds of other stuff in the classroom. But with teaching online, that kind of stuff is not it's not a problem. So so for one thing that I love about working with VIPKID is that I don't know if this is like an INFP thing in general, or if it's just something about me, but I think that most INFPs don't really like to tell people what to do, and they don't really like being told what to do either. Like I used to be in the military, and like I just couldn't stand the whole like rank structure, like people giving me orders and stuff like that, and I've always had a hard like I've just always had like kind of trouble with my bosses and stuff like that. Not so much when I was teaching, because I always liked my principals, or like the head teachers and stuff like that, and I always got along, especially with my last job at Bright Star. I loved my bosses there. They were super cool. That was the first time I really loved my bosses. But at VIPKID, I don't have any bosses because the company is more like connecting teachers to students, or teachers to parents. It's more like a platform for people to come together than it is like a normal sort of like a normal school building or something like that. So there's nobody that I answer to. There's nobody that tells me what to do or anything like that. So I don't have any boss. You're an independent contractor, so you're free to do it how you want. So there's nobody really to answer to. Like you might get emails like the general company sometimes, but it's not like anybody telling you what to do or anything like that. It's just giving you information. So something else that I really love about working, or about teaching online and working with VIPKID especially, is that you get to make your own schedule. So you have like a list of all the different blocks that are available, and you can select like which blocks you want to open up so that a parent can book you for that time slot. So like say you want to work at 9:30 a.m. You can open up that time slot, and if a parent wants their kid to have a class at that time, they can pick you, and then you would schedule a class, and your class would be scheduled for that time, and you can make your schedule whatever you want, and you can change it from week to week. You can do it however you would like, and it's super convenient, especially for people that travel. This is a job you can do anywhere as long as you have a laptop and an internet connection. You can do it anywhere you want, and you can make your schedule how you want it. So like for me, I'm not a morning person, so I kind of have my schedule set for like kind of like second shift. because I'd rather be free earlier in the day so I can get up whenever I want, and then like stay up later at night. So I love that aspect of it, that you get to make your own schedule. It's so free, and just it's nice to have that control. And then probably my favorite thing about it is that you work with the students one on one. So like I was saying, with all that stuff with classroom management, being in the classroom, all that stuff is gone. So even when I was even when I was teaching in the classroom, I liked, my favorite part was spending one-on-one time with students. Like if somebody needed help or something, and just talking to them one-on-one, and seeing what was going on, or what they needed help with. Like I even considered going back to school to become a counselor so that I could work one on one with students, with young people, and help them to like realize their potential and things like that. So with this, working one on one with the students, it's really nice because you can tailor the each lesson to whatever student you have at the time. So for example, when you're teaching in a classroom, there's this problem where you have to find the balance where everyone where the students who have a hard time understanding can still understand what you're talking about, and then where the advanced students are not bored because you're teaching to such a lower level for the kids that are having a hard time understanding. But then if you want to teach all the way up to the advanced students, then there's half of the kids won't understand what you're talking about. So you have to find this happy medium, and that's one of the challenges to being a good teacher in a classroom. But when you're working one-on-one with students, each class is tailored to that kid. Like if they're really advanced, then you can extend and have extra conversations or ask harder questions. And if they're struggling, you can pinpoint exactly what that student is struggling with. So I really like that aspect of it. I think that online teaching really is the future. I'm not sure how much longer classroom teaching is going to last. Like maybe at least in the next like century or so, I don't think there will really be that many classrooms anymore. I think that that the internet and technology is really helping like INFPs and introverts in general. Like even platforms like YouTube, where so many introverts are on here, like expressing themselves and getting out their opinions, and like teaching online, things like that, letting like anybody be able to teach, even if they're not so outgoing or extroverted. It's like, because even introverts can be, when we're one on one with somebody, it's we can be like as outgoing as anybody. It's just like maybe we don't want to do that in front of a crowd. But it was different when I was teaching. I never really had a problem with like being shy or something with my students, because it's a different sort of thing. So yeah, I love teaching one on one with the kids, and it's just so convenient. Like I just have my little classroom is just in my bedroom. So when it's time to work, I just go upstairs and put on, this is the uniform. All you have to do is wear an orange t-shirt. The VIPKID color is like orange, so you just wear a t-shirt or anything. I usually wear like an orange polo shirt in my real classes. But I just wear that and some pajama bottoms. So that's my uniform for my school. Super comfortable, just like laid back and relaxed. It's just a really great job. I just really love it. Like as an INFP, I feel like I'm not a salesman. Like I wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like kind of like I'm doing something wrong if I'm trying to sell something to someone. But I mean, I guess this isn't really selling, because this is a way for somebody else to. This could help somebody else if they can find, if they really enjoy teaching and teaching online especially. But yeah, since I really believe in this and I really love working at VIPKID, I guess it's okay for me to talk about it. Most of my students most of the students are from ages 5 to like 12. I think that's like the range, or maybe like 4 to 12 is supposed to be the range. Every once in a while you might have like a 14-year-old or something like that. My students are more on the older end, because I don't really teach the lower levels that much. Just the way I am, I'm not really like all like for the kids as much. I'm more like serious in the classroom, so I'm not like as goofy as some of the younger kids might want. But like whatever is your personality, like whatever or however you are in the class, you can do it however you like. If you like to work with the younger kids, then yeah. Yeah, so the only requirement is having a college degree, and they want like the North American accent, so like the USA and Canada. Those are the accents that they're looking for. But and like teaching experience is helpful, but you don't need to have teaching experience. So yeah, a lot of people do like have gone from going to the classroom teaching to coming to something like VIPKID, so they can spend more time with their families at home, and or some people just do it as like a side job to make extra money. So when I first heard about VIPKID, I thought it was too good to be true. I was like, this must be some kind of scam or something. Like, there's no way that teachers are getting paid this much to teach online, like $20 an hour. So like you have like 25-minute class and you get paid like $10 each class, so it's $20 an hour. I was like, there's no way this just can't be real. Until I became a part of the company, and you know I've been working here for almost 2 years now, and I mean it's just really nice, and it's been extra nice for me because living in the Philippines. So like VIPKID is based in China and the U.S., so you get paid in USD, and living in the Philippines, U.S. dollars go a long way. So I'm able to work like less hours and still live really comfortably over here in the Philippines because I get paid in American dollars, and so like I have a lot of extra time to spend with my family and work on creative pursuits. Like one of the big careers that lots of INFPs want to pursue in some way is writing. So like I'm working on a novel right now. I'm starting to work on some short stories. I make music, so I have time to do like all these creative pursuits that I might not have had that much time to do with a normal teaching job in the classroom, especially like back in the U.S. where I was working all the time, like normal teaching hours. So yeah, it's really great. It's been really great, especially in my situation. It's like I feel like it's a life hack. I just figured out a way to hack life in a way. So I'll leave my referral code in the link below, or in the description below if you guys are interested in this company. I can just something that can help you get your foot in the door. So it's like you know somebody at VIPKID. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. If you're interested, leave a comment below, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you answer any question that you might have. And if you guys want to see any more videos like this, let me know. I can talk about like the application process and the interview process and things like that, and how the classrooms are. And I might end up making a whole new channel just dedicated to this. But if you guys are interested in seeing it on this channel, let me know in the comments. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys, all the INFPs and all the people out there, find your vocation, the career that you love and that makes you feel fulfilled. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love.